10 ready-made answers with rationale for board examiners. This 2023. Hello guys, if you're new here, my name is Resty. I'm a registered nurse. I took the nursing licensure exam last November 2021 and this is my rating. So, basically, I know what I'm doing. Yun. Let's proceed to number 1. Shall we? So, yung tanong dito, yun pala guys, yung gagawin ko po dito is wala nang choices. Wala nang choices, diretso na sa answer key. Pero magbibigay pa rin ako ng rationale as much as possible. Okay? These are 10 points na makakatulong talaga. Number 1. A nurse is caring for a client with pneumonia who has a history of bleeding esophageal varices. Based on this information, the nurse plans care knowing that it is important to prevent. Yan. So, yung patient, guys, tingnan nyo, may pneumonia siya. Pero, emphasize tayo sa bleeding esophageal varices kasi based sa question dito, based on this information, tingnan nyo kung gaano ka-tricky yung mga questions sa board exam. They will mention one disease, pero isisingit nila yung isa. Tapos yun pala yung focus, yung pangalawang sinabi dito. Kaya it's very important to underline mga keywords, okay? So based on this information, ano daw yung plan of care natin sa mga taong may history of bleeding esophageal varices. But before that, what is bleeding esophageal varices ba? So esophageal varices pala guys is ito yung mga parang nagpo-protrude na mga blood vessels. Varices is actually yung mga parang, ano tawag dito? Parang lumolobo na part ng blood vessels. So, yan. So, bawal pala silang pumutok. Kasi nga, lumolobo guys. Tingnan nyo yung kulay blue na yan. So, usually, yung esophageal varices, located yan sa pinakadulo ng esophagus. Yan. Tapos, these are common. Bleeding esophageal varices is common for patients with liver diseases. Like, example dito, with liver cirrhosis. So, yung pinaka priority natin dito, guys, is to avoid na pumutok or mag-rupture yung varices. So, yung gagawin natin is, we need to prevent constipation. Yun. Bakit? Kasi constipated ka, ano yung tendency mo guys? Umiiri ka. You will push out your feces, yung tae. Ipapalabas mo talaga. So, magpo-force yung si pasyente. Of course, di ba bawal tayong ma-strain? Kasi nga, puputok. Pag puputok, magbi-bleed. So, kung magbi-bleed, magkaka-hemorrhage, mamamatay si pasyente. Di ba? So, we should avoid constipation. So, ano yung dapat health teaching natin dito sa pasyente? Of course, sabihin natin, ma'am, sir, kailangan mo ng mga high-fiber diet. Diba? So, ano pa? Marami ka pang pwede dyan or increased fluid intake, no? Para hindi siya mag-constipate. Okay? Tandaan ha, for esophageal varices, we need to avoid constipation. Number 2. Question. After a liver biopsy, the nurse places the client in which of the following positions? Positioning is very common sa board exam. Ito talaga, laman to lagi ng mga board exam questions. So, liver biopsy, guys. Tandaan ha, liver biopsy, tapos anong position ni client? After. After. Take note ha, the keyword is after. Okay. So, first, let us know anatomy. Remember, I told you guys na napakahalaga na malaman yung anatomy and physiology. Kasi, halos lahat ng mga questions related talaga siya sa anatomy, sa positioning of the organs of the body. So, mahalaga na meron kayong strong foundation dito. So, as you can see, ang liver, situated siya or dito siya naka-place sa my right side. Okay? Right side of the body. Also, yung descending colon, dito din. Tsaka yung appendix sa lower right. Okay? So, yung stomach dito sa left, yung spleen sa left pala. Okay, tingnan nyo ha. So, yung tandaan yung liver is on the right side. Okay? The right side of the body. Kasi nga, positioning eh. Okay, so after liver biopsy, the nurse places the client in a right side lying position with a small pillow or folded towel under the puncture site. Yun. So ang tanong dito, bakit dito? Bakit sa right side? Eh di ba dun siya kinuhanan ng liver? Ay, ng liver, tama. Ng liver for the biopsy. So yung rationale dito, what do you do guys if nagkakaroon ng bleeding ang pasyente? What do we usually do? We put pressure. Diba? Pine-pressure natin yung wound site para hindi lumabas yung maraming dugo. So, ganito din yung rationale bakit i-right side lying natin si pasyente. Kasi remember, when you biopsy, you puncture the liver. So, nagkakaroon siya ng opening. So, kailangan din i-put natin ng pressure doon sa site para hindi siya masyadong mag-bleed. Diba? Kaya nga maglalagay din tayo ng small pillow or folded towel under the puncture site para mag-promote ng pressure para hindi mag-bleed sa pasyente. Okay? Remember that. Next, number 3. A nurse will be providing post-procedural care to a client who has undergone esophago-gastro-duodenoscopy. O, diba? EGD. Ang dami, ang haba. The nurse would plan to do which of the following first once the client arrives. Okay. So, post-procedural care. Tapos na. Tandaan to guys ha. Yung mga pre, post, during, mga ganyan-ganyan. So, post-procedural care. So, tapos na yung gastro-duodenoscopy. Esophago-gastro-duodenoscopy. So, ano din yung first priority natin when the client arrives? No? So, ano ba yung EGD na to? So, EGD, sa word na endoscopy, tandaan guys ha, pag mga scopy, ano yan, may nilalagay to check. Usually yung endoscopy may flashlight din sa loob tsaka may camera para makita yung ma-visualize yung sa loob ng stomach. Kagaya dito sa picture. Diba? So, endoscopy yan. So, hindi siya pampatanggal kundi pangpa-check. Endoscopy. So, yung gagawin pala natin dito is to monitor the return of the gag reflex. Tandaan yan guys ha. So, okay, let's go back to the picture. Nilalagay, sinasangsang sa bunganga, papunta sa stomach, yung probe ng endoscopy. Bago gawin yan, sinisedate yung pasyente. Binibigyan siya ng anesthesia para hindi masakit. Siyempre, ilalagay ba naman doon? Masakit yun, guys. So, kailangan anesthesia, di ba? So, tandaan, pag naka-anesthesia yung pasyente or naka-sedate, nawawala lahat ng function sa body. Tandaan yan, ha? Nawawala ng function, nawawala ng gag reflex, especially sa bunganga. So, kailangan natin siya i-return of the gag reflex. Kasi, pag hindi ito nabalik, guys, mamamatay ang pasyente. You know why? Risk for aspiration. Tandaan, yung priority palagi dito is airway. Kapag ang gag reflex hindi siya bumalik, kumain si pasyente, wala pa pala siyang gag reflex, nabulunan, nag-stuck sa kanyang esophagus, namatay. Hindi na siya makahinga. So, priority lagi na ibalik yung gag reflex. Tandaan yan ha, kasi airway is very priority. Number 4, a nurse is performing colostomy irrigation on a client. During the irrigation, the client begins to complain of abdominal cramps. Which of the following is the appropriate nursing action? Okay, so colostomy irrigation, parang hinuhugasan. Tapos nagka-cramps si pasyente. So ano yung appropriate na gagawin? Ito lang, stop the irrigation temporarily. Pag magtanong ilang minutes, usually 30 minutes. Stop the irrigation temporarily. Yun lang sagot. Hindi siya isa-stop completely. Meron pa nga yan pwede mo siyang i-clamp. You clamp the cord, you stop the irrigation temporarily for 30 minutes, tapos i-release ulit. 5. A client is scheduled for an endoscopic retrograde cholangiopancreatography, ERCP. The nurse includes which intervention in the plan of care of the client. Okay. So, tingnan nyo guys scheduled pa lang siya. So, hindi pa siya nangyayari. Pero tingnan nyo yung tanong. The nurse includes which intervention into the plan of care of client. Pero yung tanong dito, plan of care. Kailan ba ginagawa yung plan of care? Diba? Yung care is gagawin siya after na ng procedure. So, grabe ka tricky, no? Hindi pa yan nga nangyayari, pero yung tanong sa board exam is, ano yung gagawin mo after the procedure na? Kasi, intervention in the plan of care Ano yung plano mo sa pag-alaga mo sa pasyente? So, intervention pa. Diba? So, we're looking for the action itself after the procedure. So, ito pala yung ERCP, guys, or retrograde cholangiopancreatography. So, where it says sa pancreas, no? So, ito yung ginagawa. Like, you sedate the patient, diba? Kagaya rin siya kanina sa endoscopy. Kasi scopy din to Oh, graphy pala. So, visualization din. So, an endoscope is gently inserted in the mouth through the esophagus to the stomach, to the part of the small intestine. You'll be able to go to local anesthetic as worn off, you can eat or drink. Diba? May anesthesia palagi pag nilalagyan ng something sa bunganga. Tandaan yan, ha? So, ERCP pala is to check, diba? If may mga problema dyan sa stomach mo or sa small intestines. So, yung sagot lang dito, guys, is after the procedure, keep the client NPO, nothing per orem or nothing by mouth, until the gag reflex returns. Diba? Nakalimutan ko kayo itanong Pero, gag reflex na naman yung sagot. Diba? So, palagi yan. Kasi yung priority natin is airway. Pag walang gag reflex, si pasyente is risk for aspiration. So, walang kakain. Okay? NPO muna until bumalik na ang gag reflex. Easy ba? Easy yan. Gagaling kayo Number 6. A client has undergone esophago-gastroduodenoscopy. Ito na naman tayo. The nurse places the highest priority in which of the following items as part of the client's plan of care. Highest priority daw for esophago-gastroduodenoscopy. Yun. Highest priority. Okay. Tingnan natin. Okay, so for esophago-gastroduodenoscopy, same procedure, nilalagyan ng endoscope, galing sa bunganga, papunta sa duodenum. So, pag tinatanong guys lagi, yung prioritization, tandaan nyo tong tatlong to. ABC, airway, breathing, circulation. Airway. Importante talaga yan. Pag may nagbablock sa airway, yan yung priority mong i-remove. Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Kapag tinatanong, yung pasyente, sobrang payat siya, hindi na siya makakain. So, ano yung priority mo dito? Nutrition. Food. Kasi diba, sa pyramid, yung pinaka-base, food palagi yan. So, yan yung Maslow's hierarchy of needs. No? Kapag yung mga stories nag-i-inarte, ganyan, always check for the prioritization, di ba? And of course, safety, hindi mawawala to. Especially sa bedside care, hindi mawawala yung safety na sagot. So, tandaan to ha, ABC, Maslow's, and safety questions. So, if a client undergo esophagogastronoscopy, the highest priority is checking the return of gag reflex. Ulit-ulit, kasi gusto kong siyang i-emphasize. A. The nurse is monitoring a client for the early signs and symptoms of dumping syndrome. Which of the following symptoms indicate this occurrence? Okay, tandaan guys ha, underline here, early signs. Early signs ng dumping syndrome. Pero ano ba yung dumping syndrome? Okay, dumping syndrome is yung bigla siyang pumunta directly sa duodenum yung mga pagkain. So, it usually occurs 15 to 30 minutes. At ito yung mga symptoms niya, tsaka nagkakaroon siya ng esophageal epigastric fullness. So, dumping syndrome to ha. So, yung early signs pala is sweating and pallor. Remember, yan, sweating and pallor. Kasi nga, nabigla yung katawan. Pagkain niya ng marami, nabiglang nagdumiretso agad sa duodenum, hindi na nagstay sa stomach. So, dumping syndrome ang tawag dyan. 8. A client with history of gastrointestinal upset has been diagnosed with acute diverticulitis. To aid the client in symptom management, the nurse suggests foods that are on which of the following diets. Okay. Pag acute diverticulitis, usually may mga diverticulosis. Tingnan nyo guys, ito yung mga bilog-bilog sa ilalim ng tiyan. Yan dito. Mga pumuputok-putok yan. Diverticulum yan. So, minsan nag-i-inflame sila. Kasi nga, yun, may inflammation, kaya nagkakaroon ng infection. So, tawag dyan is diverticulitis. So, ano yung mga foods na avoid natin? Usually, mga high-fiber foods. Kasi nakakatrigger siya ng bowel movement at masakit yan. Tsaka, ma-erode yung mga diverticulosis, yung mga diverticulum. No? So, of course, yung teaching natin sa pasyente is low-fiber diet. Kasi nga, bawal siya sa high-fiber, di ba? Yun lang. Next, a client with ascites or is scheduled for paracentesis. The nurse is assisting the healthcare provider in performing the procedure. Which of the following positions will the nurse assist the client to assume for this procedure? Paracentesis. Naalala niyo guys yung mga medical terms. Synthesis is surgical puncture, no? So may i-remove na something sa katawan. So in this case, ascites sa tiyan yan, sa abdomen. So infection yan ng abdomen. So kailangan may i-extract para ma-check if ano klaseng infection. So ano daw yung posisyon na for this procedure? Okay. So for paracentesis, of course, sa tiyan siya kukunin, hindi pwedeng naka-iga kasi super flat. Dapat naka-upright si pasyente para easy lang mag-extract. Tandaan niya na hindi pwede prone kasi yung tiyan, di ba? Hindi pwede side lying kasi baka ma-puncture yung ibang organs. So upright talaga. Last number. A nurse is evaluating the effect of dietary counseling on a client with cholecystitis. The nurse determines that the client understands the instructions given if the client states which food item is acceptable to include in the diet. So, paano daw natin malalaman na ang pasyente na iintindihan niya yung health teaching natin? Kasi may cholecystitis siya. Ang sagot niya dito is, pwede po akong kumain ng turkey and lettuce sandwich. No? Tandaan guys, for cholecystitis, bawal yung mga fatty foods. Kasi tandaan, gallbladder. Gallbladder stores bile. Bile, 'di ba? Ang liver nagpo-produce siya ng bile, tapos yung gallbladder siya yung nagso-store. Kung may cholecystitis ka, may inflammation of the gallbladder ka. So, ang function ng bile, 'di ba? Tinutunaw niya yung fat, yung taba. So, ang mangyayari if may cholecystitis ka, dapat hindi yan magalaw yung gallbladder mo kasi nga may infection dapat magpahinga siya. So, kung kain ka ng fatty foods, matitrigger siya. So, sasakit at hindi siya mag-heal ng faster. So, kailangan yung diet mo dito is low-fat diet. So, turkey is low-fat and lettuce sandwich is walang fat. Yon. I hope you learned something new kasi may 10 points ka na for the board exam. Nga pala guys, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to this channel para ma-motivate naman ako. See you on the next one.